I'm gonna drown is what I started to think, right?
So you're like, holy shit, I'm drowning.
Yeah, I started to think for a second that I was about to go. I literally thought I was gonna drown because I was standing up and I didn't know how deep it was, and I was getting tangled up, like hardcore tangled up. But anyways, what happened was this. I got in, and then as soon as I stepped on the ground, it literally like sucks you in. Yeah, and you like lose your whole foot. Your whole foot just gets... Yeah, like at least, yeah, your whole foot just goes straight into the ground because like the ground is so mushy, right? So the first thing was like a step and whoop, gone. Foot gone. But then, you know, I forgot the wetsuit, I forgot my fins, I forgot everything, you know what I mean? We were like, we went old school snorkeling, and I am not a big fan of old school snorkeling. So I start going, and I'm going, and I'm going, and I don't know exactly where I'm going. I'm just going somewhere, yeah. Right? I'm going and I'm going. All of a sudden, and I have like no propulsion because I don't have the fins on, right? So it's the mask starts getting a little foggy, right? So I'm like, I don't know exactly where I'm going. Then I run into some bushes, right? And then I'm kicking, and then the bushes start getting tangled in my foot, right? So I start freaking out, like, whoa, shit, you know? So I start like, because like my body's flat to the, you know, my body's flat with the water, right? Because I'm like laying flat, right?
Yeah.
But then as soon as I start freaking out, I start like lifting like this, you know, like straight up. And then, yeah, I started lifting straight up. And then the more I started lifting straight up, the more tangled I was getting, right? So I was like, oh shit, right? So I'm getting all tangled up in these goddamn bushes. Right, and then I'm like, fuck. Like, if this is what literally ran through my head, right? What I started to think was, I'm standing up straight. The more I'm standing up straight, the more tangled I am, right?
Yeah, so you gotta go back down.
So the more, and your body does not want to go back to floating, right? Because it's like, it wants to stand up straight. So I start getting tangled, right? But then I started thinking to myself, if I'm getting tangled and I go underneath the water, right? Where my head is below the water and I'm all tangled underneath the water, I'm gonna drown. Is what I started to think, right?
So you're like, holy shit, I'm drowning.
Yeah, I started to think for a second that I was about to go. I literally thought I was gonna drown because I was standing up and I didn't know how deep it was, and I was getting tangled up, like hardcore tangled up. I don't know if you saw me, but I was just like one slow movement at a time.
I saw you in the same spot for a long time, and I was like,
yeah, that's where I was freaking out. That's where I was freaking out. That's where the problems are all having. So I literally had to like, oh my God. I had to like tell myself, okay, calm down. Let's just take this one step at a time. So then somehow I started standing on the bushes, right? Kind of crouching on the bushes. And then I was like crab crawling across the bushes, right? I mean, I just didn't know how deep they were.
crab crawling against the bushes.
Yeah, it was weird.
That is weird.
Oh my God. Do not go snorkeling there.
I think you just got into a bad spot.
I did not like that. That was horrible. Like, I've never had an experience like that at Box Canyon or Ritter Island. Just these bushes got me good. Jeez, it almost got me. What happened to Arnel? A bush got him.
He drowned in a lake because the bush tangled him.
A bush tangled me and almost got me.
You see that in horror movies.
Yeah. A goddamn bush got me. I cannot believe that. So yeah. So I just kind of crab crawled until I found something that looked deep enough. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to flat. And then as soon as I went back to flat, my next immediate thing was, I gotta get out of this goddamn Box Canyon Little Brother Lake. Yeah. So I immediately scooted my way to you. Yeah, I immediately came back. I was like, this is not worth it. I mean, that was a scary snorkeling experience. Yes, so the problem here was I didn't bring my wetsuit, which I probably should have. The wetsuit keeps me afloat, kind of like a life jacket. So even if I just like lay flat, the wetsuit just like whoop, pops me up like a cork or something like that, you know? So I didn't have my wetsuit, I didn't have any of my gear. So, I mean, geez, I guess today I saw what big of a difference it is to have all my gear, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because, geez, It's so crazy, like having a wetsuit and fins and all the stuff makes a freaking humongous difference. I would have not had this experience if I put all of this stuff on.
You don't think your face would get wrapped up in that?
I don't know. I feel like if I had the fins, it would have maybe been even worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you'd be wrapped up a lot more in the sense because there's more to it.
Yeah, but with the fins, at least I would be on the top, floating, you know? But oh my god, that was brutal. At one point I was like, I looked at you and I almost said, help, help, you know? But then I thought to myself, you can't help me at all. You would actually cause yourself a, you know? I was like, that's a bad idea, you know? Watch out, she sees something. Yeah, so even if I called out help, 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 yeah, you would have been like, what?
I was like, what do you want me to do?
Like, I would have been, yeah, it would have been a bad idea if you tried to come in there. You would have been just, whoa. I guess my final thoughts on this would be, it's like, yeah, like, come here, check it out, but don't go swimming because you're gonna get stuck in one of those bushes. Yeah, just go fishing and maybe look at the lake. Don't go swimming here. It's not like, man, I guess lesson here is from now on I always have to have my wetsuit on, no matter what. Yeah, so yeah, and if you do decide to go snorkeling or swimming, make sure you have a wetsuit